Hi, this is Melissa Clark, your Demarle at Home consultant, and I thought it might be fun to do a crash course on what Demarle is. I realize a lot of people have never heard of it and they've never seen it. So this is not meant to be all-encompassing, but it's definitely meant to give you a taste for what Demarle at Home actually is. Now what's really neat about this is Demarle is the professional standard around the world. Professional chefs are using this in their kitchen every day. And the only difference between Demarle and Demarle at Home is that Demarle at Home is sized down to fit into our home kitchens. That's it. It is a 100% food grade silicone bakeware, which means we have no fillers in our silicone, and it is sprayed onto a frame of woven glass. So what's cool about it is that you get all the benefits of cooking with your Pyrex and your glass bakeware, but none of the heft with it. And because of the silicone, you have a 100% non-stick surface, which is so cool. And it does take some getting used to because you're going to look at some things and go, oh my god, I do not want to clean that. It's never been a problem. It slides right off. If you've got even something that is syrupy and sweet, throw some cold water on it, pop it in the freezer, and guess what? It is going to peel right off. And it is the coolest thing when you realize how many things that you don't have to soak, you don't have to scrub, and they just come clean all of a sudden. So it's a very different way of thinking. But one of the cool things about Demarle at Home, and one of the main reasons I love it, is the versatility of it. Now in France, where this originated, they primarily use it straight up for confections. They just use it for desserts, and they are slowly coming around to our idea of being able to use it for savory dishes. America, we like our versatility. We like our versatility, our multifunction stuff, and guess what? This product goes from the sweet dessert land, savory dishes, even into the arts and crafts, even though Patrice, who happens to own it, cringes when we talk about it. But this thing is fantastic because it does do all of these things, and because it's a non-stick surface, even super glue is not going to stick to this. So if you have a craft area, it's very easy to use something like our roll pat and put it out on your surface. Do your craft, even if it's got the super glue. That stuff, when it cools, is going to peel right off of it for you. And all you have to do is wash it with soap and hot water. It's going to come right off, and you're ready to go. You can cook. Other neat thing about this is it is certified kosher. So if that is something that is important to you, we do have the certificates for it. And I do know that team members, some people on our team, have actually physically talked to the rabbi who issues the certification for us. The other really neat thing about it is that this product grows with you as a cook. It will be just as beneficial to somebody who can burn water to a 5-star professional pastry chef. So it doesn't matter. The only thing that changes is how you use it and the ingredients that you're using in it. So you definitely have a versatile product. So, what is this thing? It's really flexible cookware. Now, this is also going to save space in your kitchen too, because you're going to see me unwind this and you're going to see just how much fits in this nice little roll. All of this was in that little roll. Doesn't get much better than that, which also means that it travels well. So if you've got a beach house or a timeshare that's got an efficiency unit in it, guess what? You can pack up some of your favorite pieces, slip them into your suitcase without adding a lot of weight, and then you're going to have your own cookware to use. Way nicer than using kind of the whatever happens to be there. So, our product is super flexible. I mean, it rolls up, doesn't have a lot of heft to it. So everything for us is designed to go on top of our perforated baking sheet. Now this gives you two benefits. One, it gives you something stable to put your product on. Do not put this in the microwave. If you were working in a microwave, you want to find a microwave safe dish that you can slide your molds on top of. But what's even cooler is all of these holes that are in the tray gives you even cooking. So if you've cooked on a cookie sheet, you know, or you're probably used to, the outside all cooking way before the inside cooks. So you'll have your cookies or your french fries or whatever you're cooking be pretty well done on the outside, but then you're still waiting for the middle to cook. So you're flipping it around, moving things around on your trays. Guess what? You don't have to do that with this. This right here is going to allow for that even cooking. Everything heats up at the same time. What's also really neat about this stuff is this stuff cools down super duper fast. So these are one of our flexi pans. This has the woven glass in it. And I'm not sure if you can see this on the screen, but maybe you can. You can see that weave on the back. That is actually the woven glass. So while you can definitely roll this stuff up, and it takes up no space at all, you do not want to put anything heavy on top of it because you will break the strands. And that doesn't really impact the cooking of it, but it does impact the look. So you could get some really funky creases going on. Really neat thing, all of this stuff does come with a lifetime warranty. If it is black, basically all of our flexi pans and our trays, it's a lifetime warranty, which means unless you want a duplicate because you want or need it, you don't need to buy another one. If something happens to it other than the dog ate it or you cut it, you call me up and we fix it for you. Usually, the only time you're going to have a problem is if you've got a problem in the beginning. I had one that I had to get replaced. I actually tore the edge, loaded it up, went to pick it up, and it ripped on me. But I got it during a time when we knew there was a manufacturing defect. No problem, used it till I couldn't use it because I was trying to make quinoa in it and realized I probably need a better seal on this because it made a mess. No problem at all. It was replaced. I had just not replaced it prior to that point because I didn't have a reason to. Otherwise, that's it. If you're a normal cook, I can't imagine ever having to actually replace one of these. So what's cool about it? Well, I've been showing you our pans. And speaking of versatility, really what this product is designed for is what do you want it to look like and what do you need to hold. So this obviously is one of our plain ones. This one actually isn't available anymore. Ooh, one of our discontinued ones, even though I love it. But then, if you want something a little bit more fancy, we have the fancy ones. Now, this happens to be our sunflower mold. It's one of our most popular items, both among hosts, customers, consultants. We all want this. It's one of the bigger ones, which is cool because it holds a ton. This holds an entire box of cake mix. And I'm pretty sure this also holds an entire box of pasta too. If not, the grande definitely does, because that's the one I use all the time for that. But you can make anything in here. You can make cakes in here, you can make pot pies in this, and if you don't care what it looks like, you use it like you normally would, and you're used to, and you just scoop things out. Otherwise, it's designed, pretend this is a plate, you can flip it over, peel it off, and then you'd be left with this design. So I've used this for taco pies, I've used this for cornbread, cakes, quiche, all kinds of different things. And what's really cool is if you're feeding a crowd, guess what? These can be used as slices. So it's a really easy portion control too. Now, if you're a bread person, and this comes down to texture sometimes, because there's some things I like in this and there's some things that I don't. I'm the minority. Everybody loves everything in it. We have our sill forms. Now, let's see if you can see. Yeah, you can see that see-through. This is much more airy. So you cannot put your quick breads in here. You cannot put anything with liquid in here. You definitely need to make sure you've got a solid base on it. But what's cool is that when you put your breads in here, the texture is amazing. We actually were doing some test runs and we did half of it on a sill pat and half of it on our sill pane. And hands down, the sill pane was way better. And the only difference was how we cooked it. That was it. It was the same recipe, literally just split in half. So these are for our bread makers. And now we have a couple different ones, a couple different versions of these, and we also have the sill pane, which is just flat, that you can use for freeforming your bread. Now, our signature product. Most of us have seen this. If we haven't seen it in a store, You can get a couple of these in some specialty stores. You have probably seen this on the Food Network or cooking competitions. Now, this, combined with your perforated sheet, essentially replaces your cookie sheet. You won't need anything. The only thing that you can't do on this, or it's at least not recommended, is anything that's got a lot of liquid, because obviously this is flat. So if you have a lot of liquid, it's going to run right off. But you pick one of your molds, and we do have one that's got a little bit of an edge, which usually is all you need for things that are, you know, marinated. I'll do marinated shrimp on it all the time. We do bacon on it all the time. And, oh, yeah, you can cook in the microwave with this stuff. The larger version of this, paired with our octagonal silpat, actually creates a seal. So you can do all kinds of veggies. You can do popcorn. I actually do full meals, for example, with sausage, peppers, and onions. We just cook it right in there. And we've got everything in the microwave, which is perfect in the summertime when it's way too hot to cook. Now, as if all of that wasn't good enough, we also have what is known as our roll pat. The roll pat is very cool, and I wish I could demo this on the video, but I can't, just because it's a little bit difficult. But what's really cool about it is when you put this on a surface, try to move it. Not a tablecloth. Tablecloth doesn't count, but if you actually put it on the surface of a table or a counter, it's not going to slide as long as it's fully on the counter, which is really cool when you're rolling doughs out, or cookies or whatever, because it doesn't go anywhere. This, you don't need to add a lot of flour to. So you're going to use less flour, which means you're adding less flour to your doughs, which changes the texture less, which gives you a better product overall. And this is the one that's awesome. I give it to my daughter all the time for Play-Doh, because it definitely maintains the mess. And my last trick for you guys, going back to our wonderful silpat. The silpat slides. It does not have that stick to the counter ability. However, my new favorite thing to do is roll out the dough for cutout cookies directly onto my silpat, cut the cookies exactly where I want them, peel away all the extras, and guess what? You have perfectly formed cutout cookies. Coolest thing ever. I hated cutout cookies. Not anymore. I love them now because they're so stinking easy. So that is my crash course on Demarle at home. Not everything. Just a quick intro to the company, the products, and how much I love the versatility of them. And I'm sure you could find way more versatility. Honestly, the best way to learn Demarle at home is to get it into your hands. We all cook differently and we all have different goals in our kitchen. So we all learn from each other. And that's how we get all of our different ideas. You'll do something and it'll be, oh, that was so easy. I should go try such and such. But if you don't want to get in your hands first and you want to see some more, I do happen to have my open house coming up, which you can find on Facebook at Melissa Clark DAH. Also on Instagram at Gardening Foodies and Facebook. So lots of recipes, lots of different ideas come out, and always looking for new ideas, and love hearing stories about how people are using this in their own kitchens. So feel free to hit me up. I would love to hear what you have to say, and check out the open house because there are now 3 ways to join this year. In-house if you're local, Zoom if you're not, and I will also be having just a Facebook event the Sunday after. So the guys that are coming for the actual open house get first dibs. So thanks for watching. Hope this was beneficial, and if you have any questions, let me know. Thanks.